Hello guys and welcome to another video, and for this one I decided to go with this BRZ. It's the new car and we recently got it in the update, but I just tested it out. I just wanted to see, like, is it even competitive in the first race, just to see, like, can I get, actually can I do something with it. And I actually saw a couple of guys in front of me doing kind of similar lap times as I was in this BRZ, but I was expecting more, to be honest. I was really expecting, like, this car is gonna be the one for, just to be up there. I mean, we recently had it with an update, so I was thinking maybe they tested out the BOP a little bit better, just to see if maybe we can get, like, a good new car, a good new competitive car. But, just as I was going around the circuit, I realized that this car had literally no acceleration. It was very light, but also at the same time it had literally no horsepower. But I decided to make the most out of it and trying to go on the outside here and downshift into the first, trying to get that out in second gear, and eventually I was on the inside line right here, and I took a couple of places. But the Aston and all of the other cars were very, very good with the acceleration, so I wasn't quite able to do this one, and the guy literally pushed me a little bit off the track right there. But I mean, no harm done. I eventually got the time back and eventually got the place back, so it was all good. I mean, this race was actually looking to be like a pretty good one, and I thought about, okay, P11, but just as I realized how much more speed this car has, like, if you look at the differences, I mean, he was at around 150 at the point where I was like 140, 145. So if you're just 5 to maybe 10 miles per hour slower than the car behind you, you're in serious trouble. So then you really know that this car just needs to be updated, the BOP needs to be fixed, and a lot of these things in GT7 needs to be, just needs to be fixed. And I think it's gonna take a lot of work to make all of those things around and get it into one good place. But no penalties in this one so far. No penalties in this one so far. I'm probably repeating myself, but I was amazed by how bad the next one will go. But either way, just trying to go down the inside, and the guy behind me did a little mistake, and I eventually made it up there into P9. So from P10 into P9, yeah, that's quite obvious, but okay. Out here in second place, which I realized wasn't quite a good one. But again, this guy with like a 10-second penalty, and I thought to myself, how do you get a 10-second penalty? Absolutely. And then I just I waited for a while, and then I realized, okay, yeah, people are doing this type of stuff. But this wasn't, honestly, for me, this was maybe a 1-second penalty. But this guy got a 3-second penalty. A 3-second penalty for hitting the guy in front of him. Oh, that's a 3-second penalty for him? And I was like, what the hell is going, like, a 3-second penalty for that stuff? I mean, that could have been like a half a second to maybe up to a second worth of penalty, but not a free, no, definitely not. But the American in front of me, he decided to go on a break a little bit later than he should, which gave me a shot to go for a move down the inside, but I didn't really want to risk it. But then the other American, with that 3-second penalty, he almost lost it there off the track. And just a little bump here and there, not really pushing it that much. I decided to take it really, really easy when I saw, like, where people are getting penalties and how much, like 3 seconds for that. No, I mean, the penalty system needs a lot of work. And all of a sudden I've been into this kind of drag race, and this is when I realized my car had absolutely no acceleration, like absolutely no acceleration. So he was doing 150 and I was in like 145, and I had the slipstream, so I should be quicker. I should be doing like 150, I mean 155, 156 maybe. But yeah, we are going in this section, and this is where I caught up the guys in front, and then just going down the inside and making this move stick and up the P5. So I was, this was the last lap of this race, and I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe I can go and have a shot for P4, but I know this Mustang is pretty good on the straight, so if, you know, if I can make it, I'll make it, but then later he's just gonna go, I mean, he's just gonna have a lot more straight line speed, and I'm not gonna be able to defend. So here, I'm just trying to go down there, and a little bit of a contact, and he kind of lost it there. I mean, it was kind of my fault, but I decided to kind of take it easy, back out a little bit, and eventually he had more straight line speed, and in the end, that was about it. Coming home in P5, I mean, literally starting from last place in the grid up to P5. That was pretty good for me. And not a lot of penalties, to be honest, but for the next one, I took the Beetle. And the Beetle was pretty OP on this track. I think even the world record was with the BOP, with the Beetle. And yeah, this is our first penalty. I didn't even have the words for this one. Absolutely killing the guy. 5-second penalty, and I think this one was well deserved. Although the guy was now behind me, and I was up to P14. So literally the first corner, and I was up 2 places. And yeah, I was just trying to catch up the guys in front of me, not really doing something stupid. Trying to go on the outside here, and eventually making it stick with a little bit of a touch here and there, but I don't think it was that much of a problem. And yo, this guy in front of me once again kicking the guy, and yeah, that's another penalty. That's another 2-second penalty for him. And I decided to take it easy because I literally seen like even a slightest contact would mean like a second or maybe even a 3-second penalty. Who knows? Maybe up to a 5-second penalty. But I was up to P13. The guy in front of me had a 2-second penalty, and also the Vantage, the green Vantage, and it got fairly familiar as I was running in this one, and he was serving his 5-second penalty. So I was up to P12, and all of a sudden I took down the inside, broke as late as I could, and into P11, just trying to make it clean out of this section, because you can see like it's a mess. It's really a mess, and this guy in front of me getting a 2-second penalty once again. So now I'm into P11. The 2 guys in front both have 2-second penalties, so I'm not gonna take it hard on them. I'm just gonna take it easy. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this, and yeah, he completely murdered the guy in front, and I can tell you straight away that a 5-second penalty for that was well deserved. But again, this was our, I don't even know, I stopped counting after third one. I literally stopped counting how many penalties we got. I mean, if you sum it up, I think it was like a minute worth of penalties by the end of lap 2. But okay, which got me promoted. All of those penalties got me promoted up to P8. And I was just looking at the Canadian in front of me, and the Canadian just tried to, you know, he tried to defend a little bit, but he left the door open in the end, and I decided to brake a little bit later than I probably should, and then up to P7. So in literally I would say 2.5 laps, all the way from literally the last place on the grid to P7. So this was working really, really good for me, and I even had a run on this guy. I think he lifted a little bit in the previous corner, because I mean, this WRX go extremely, it's extremely understeery car, and you know, just taking it easy, make sure that I give him enough space, and eventually I think he lost a bit of traction on the way out, and I'm into P6. I mean, incredible after, as I said, 2.5 laps, maybe 3 laps. I'm into P6 from P, I don't even know what it was, a P15, and even putting a fastest lap of the race with all of that, 32.9, and lap after that 31.7. So the gap to the guy in front of me went from 3 seconds to about literally maybe less than a second. So now I'm in the slipstream, so now I can probably shoot for P5, or maybe I can even put it up to become like maybe a podium. And this is where I realized that this might be a podium. And this guy in front, again, yeah, he got a 5-second penalty. So this got me promoted up to P5, and I was looking like, this guy has a 5-second penalty, why not? Let's go for a move. And that's exactly what I did, going for a move, just making it stick. P4, and this was P4, and as I said before, the guy in front of me, the Mexican, he had a 5-second penalty here, so he's probably gonna lose like 6-7 seconds on the straight, because it takes a lot of time for the car to accelerate once again. But yeah,
what was that?
P3. I was in the podium places, and you know, when I was looking at the gap right there, when it was almost 12 seconds to the leader, and
Yeah,
I couldn't really got that in like 2 laps. But P3,
from the last place on the grid.
literally from the last place on the grid up to P3, and it
What a
was incredible race with a lot of penalties, and I couldn't believe just what happened. So I just took a screenshot, you know, but eventually P3, and for me a clean race.